Create the perfect terrain. Dodge volcanic eruptions or not. Try not to summon angry monsters while creating the world of Strange World.
And today we'll be teaching you how to play Strange World, game designed by Florian Grrre and published by Grrre Games.
And hi everyone, it's Stella.
And Tarrant, welcome to Meeple University.
And hey, if you enjoyed this video after watching, like, subscribe and comments. You know what to do. Okay, now let's get to the classroom.
In Strange World Above the Clouds, players compete to form the highest scoring 4x4 grid of cards they can. Round by round, players will draft cards, working out the cards they wish to keep and the ones they'll leave for their opponents. Then they'll place them as best they can for points, by matching icons for animals, mountain ranges and more, harnessing the volcanoes to form dark cities, forming portals to bring forth point-scoring travellers, and more. However, players need to watch out for forbidden combinations, as these could bring forth the World Eaters, which break down their points. Whoever can make the highest score after the 4x4 grids are complete will be the winner. To set up, prepare the 6 types of cards. The largest deck, which shows the World Eater monster on the back, is called the Land deck. Before beginning, look through this deck and remove any cards not corresponding to your player count, and then shuffle the deck to form the common draw stack. The clear back cards are starter land cards. Shuffle these and deal 1 to each player. This should be placed face up on the table, and give each player a player aid card as well, and then return leftover starter land cards to the box. Cards with this purple portal icon on the back are called Traveller cards. Shuffle this deck and place it face up in the common area. These cards are fumaroles. Simply make a stack in the common area, as these are the same on both sides and every card. These cards are the Dark Cities. Place them in a stack in the common area such that their victory points go from highest to lowest, from top to bottom of the stack. And finally, choose a starting player, give that player the Sun card, and that player chooses whether play direction will be clockwise or anti-clockwise. This first player card will change hands throughout the game, but the direction of play will stay the same throughout. You're now ready to play. Strange World plays over 5 turns, and each turn plays in 4 steps: deal cards, draft cards, play land cards, and end of turn. During each turn, each player will end up playing 3 land cards into their grid, meaning that over the 5 turns you will complete your 4x4 grid. The first step of each turn is draw cards. Each player draws a hand of 3 cards from the land deck, keeping them secret from the other players. Next comes the draft card step. Look at the 3 cards you picked up and choose one that you wish to keep, holding that in your hand and giving the other 2 cards to the player in the direction currently showing on the first player card. You will then receive 2 cards from the neighbour on your other side. Again, look at all the cards now in your hand, choose 2 that you wish to keep, handing the 3rd on to the player in the direction of the start arrow, and you'll receive 1 card from your other neighbour, which you must now keep in your final hand of 3. You'll now go to the play land cards step. This step is resolved in turn order, and when it is your turn to act, you will play one of your land cards into your grid and resolve any effects that are triggered. This happens in turn order, so the first player will play 1 card, then the next player, and so on. Then you'll go around a second time, and then a third time, until all players have played their 3 cards. Among the 3 cards you've drafted, you may play them in any order. Playing a card is resolved in 4 steps: placing the card, resolving World Eaters, summoning Travellers, and resolving Volcanoes. You'll resolve the 4 steps in this order. First, place the card. Look through all the cards you've selected, choose one, and then play it face up so that it is orthogonally adjacent to at least one of your previously placed cards. The final size of your world must be a 4x4 grid, so you cannot make a placement which would take it outside of those dimensions. Once you've made your placement, the second step is to check for world eaters. World eaters are these monsters on the backs of the land cards. And there are 5 different illegal placements which would cause them to turn up. This is bad because the world eaters will destroy any of the icons that would have come with the cards, making them worth no points. The illegal placements are as follows. The first is having too many portals. Through the course of your placements, it's good to create portals by joining up these half portal icons between cards. And we'll see this shortly because it impacts the third step of your turn, which is summoning travelers. However, if you ever make a placement which causes a second portal to be formed on the same card, then the card you just placed is flipped over to become a world eater. Second, you cannot have 2 water icons next to each other in the same row. If you ever place a second water, like so, the newly placed card flips over to become a world eater. This is true whether the water is the only icon on the card, or if it's one of many. Thirdly, you cannot have multiple greenery icons on the same row, whether adjacent or not. If you ever place a card so that you have more than one greenery icon in the same row, flip over the newly placed card. Finally, moon cards must always be in your top row. If you ever place a moon card so that it's not in your current top row, then you must flip it over to become a world eater. And if any placement means that existing moons are no longer in your top row, then any such existing moons are also flipped. Next, after placing and making sure the card isn't flipped into a world eater, you now check to see whether you've formed a new portal. If you have, you summon a traveller. Look through the entire deck of remaining travellers and choose the one that you wish to summon. Take the card and then place it such that it overlaps 2 rows of your world, including the row where the portal was formed. In this case, I could place it here, or over the other side in one of these 2 spaces. All travellers will score you 5 points, plus additional points if you meet the stated objective across the 2 rows it's pointing at. Once placed, a traveller locks that edge of your world, meaning here to complete my 4x4 grid, the 4th column must go here, not here. All future travellers must go on the same side. Unless it's impossible to legally place otherwise, any newly gained travellers must go into different slots to previously placed ones. Finally, resolve any volcanoes. This also comes after placing and after making sure it doesn't turn into a world eater. When you place a volcano, you must take a fumarole card and cover an orthogonally adjacent card which is not another fumarole. This can be any type of card, including a world eater. The card that you cover is destroyed, none of its icons will count towards scoring anymore, although if that destroys a portal, you do not lose the traveller it summoned. If by doing this you make 2 orthogonally adjacent fumarole cards, take the top card from the Dark City deck and place it overlapping those 2 cards. You'll now score these points at the end of the game. Each fumarole can contribute to only a single Dark City, so this placement would not allow the 7 to be placed on here. The play land card step ends once all players have played all 3 of their drafted cards into their worlds. If the 4x4 grids are not complete, move to the next turn and hand the first player card 1 step clockwise. After 5 turns, all players' 4x4 grids will be complete and the game is over. Now count up final scores. For the mountains, determine your largest orthogonally adjacent cluster of mountain icons. Here I have a cluster of cards with 6 mountain icons, and I have a single card by itself with 1. Score 1 point per icon in the largest cluster. So here 6 icons, 6 points. For each water icon, score 1 point for each orthogonally adjacent non-world eater card. This includes fumaroles even if covered by a dark city. So this water scores 2 points, and this water also scores 2 points. For greenery icons, simply score 3 points per icon. Remember, you'll only be able to have at most 1 per row because a second one would turn into a world eater. Next is animals. Count up your total number of different animals and score 2 points for each. You'll see that next to each animal icon there is a smaller one showing the type of animal, and that's also reflected in the larger illustration. Here I have a total of 4 animals, but there's 1 set of duplicates, meaning 3 different, 6 points. Next, score your moons. Each moon must be in your top row, and it scores 2 points for each icon, same or different, in the card immediately below it. It then scores a further 2 points for each icon lower down in that column, which matches at least 1 icon from the second row. So in my left column, I've got 2 icons in the second row and 1 matching icon lower down, so 2 times 3 is 6 points. And in my right-hand column, I have 3 second row icons and 1 matching icon further down. 4 times 2 is 8 points. Naturally, a moon with no icons below it scores nothing. Next, score your dark cities, simply scoring the points printed on them. And finally, score your travellers. A traveller always scores 5 points and might score additional points if you meet the traveller's objective across the 2 rows it's pointing at. Here it's 5 plus an additional 6 if I have 3 or more volcano icons in those rows, which I do, meaning this scores 11, while this is 5 plus 6 if I have at least 5 mountain icons in those rows, which I don't, so this scores only 5. The player with the highest score wins, and if tied, victory is shared.
Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, maybe you'd like to watch this next one. Have a great day. Bye.